Eastern right now. Colin's going to tell you why Kevin Durant is in the perfect place right now. The Herd starts next.
Here we go on a Tuesday. This is The Herd. Wherever you may be and however you may be listening, we're in Los Angeles on iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, and FS1. Joy Taylor is joining me on a Tuesday. I know it's a slow week. I was listening to radio driving in this morning. The topics were bizarre to not really topics. We are packed today. We're going to have a great show today.
There's actually a lot going on.
There's a lot going on today. And I want to start with something. I can like Whole Foods, it's organic, and I can like my local grocery store that's not organic. I like choices. I like choices in life. I like the NFL, but it's mostly like the TV show Meet the Press. It's been around forever, regardless who's the host. It gets a rating. It's important in D.C. It's important to the country. It's not real flashy. The NBA is more of a reality show. It'll be around too. They're not going anywhere, but it's as popular as the stars and celebrities in the reality show. It fluctuates. And the NBA is a soap opera, and it's a fun soap opera, and I like the way the NFL runs its business. They're not nearly as beholden to one or two players and stars to drive their business, but I also like the NBA for its soap opera qualities. I think the playoffs and the free agency is way better than the regular season. I really do. I don't even think it's close. I like the soap opera. So let's discuss the soap opera. There are 8 free agents. I'm not going to count Anthony Davis because he's not a free agent. So there's 8 free agents, big name guys who are going to be available on the market. And I believe 6 of the 8 are going nowhere. It's fun to speculate, but I think Kevin Durant stays. Kawhi Leonard leaning to staying in Toronto. I don't believe all the rumors. Kyrie stays in Boston. I think Klay Thompson stays. Jimmy Butler stays in Philadelphia. Chris Middleton stays in Milwaukee. I do think Boogie Cousins, sort of a consolation prize, ends up somewhere for about $10 million. And I think Kemba Walker ends up with the Knicks. He's from New York. He played at UConn. That's who I think the Knicks get. And he'll be fun, not transformative, but a good player. So I think 6 of the 8 aren't going anywhere. And the 2 guys that are leaving, Kemba Walker and Boogie Cousins, aren't changing anything other than their own zip codes. But let's talk about Kevin Durant, because he's really the only guy in the market that changes everything. If he leaves Golden State, it is not the same team. And if he goes to another place, he brings somebody with him, and they contend for a title. Just this weekend, he was hanging out. They caught on camera him talking to Kyrie Irving. And people freaked out and are now suggesting it's a done deal. Well, if I bump into my neighbor's wife at the grocery store, are we having an affair? It was an all-star game. They were both there. It was a hallway. They were walking in it. It means nothing. But it shows you the intrigue around Kevin Durant, because he really is the only guy in the market, including Jimmy Butler and Klay Thompson and Kyrie Irving, and they're very good players. But I watched Kyrie Irving before LeBron arrived in Cleveland, and he didn't do squat. He's not going to do anything by himself. Durant's the story. And Kevin Durant, according to multiple sources, people I trust that cover the NBA, it matters to him to be viewed as an equal or better than LeBron. So if you start with that premise, which I believe to be true, and there's nothing wrong with that. Tom Brady wanted to be better than Montana. There is nothing wrong with that. That's what I like about Kevin Durant. He's competitive. He wants to be an all-timer. I want you to think about this. In 3 months, Kevin Durant's going to win his 3rd straight title. In 3 months, Kevin Durant will be the finals MVP. Now let's take a step back and remember that he wants to be seen as superior to LeBron. The first title for Kevin Durant beating LeBron, about 10% of you were like, Durant's better. About 10, 15% of you. But you were very quickly washed away. That's silly. And then last year he won his 2nd and was MVP over LeBron. About 25% of you, maybe 30, were like, Durant's better than LeBron. And that had a little more staying power, but a couple weeks later it washed away. This year, when Kevin Durant wins a title and is MVP and LeBron either gets washed out early in the playoffs or doesn't make them, that number is going to rise to 50%. Half the people are going to say Come on. LeBron can't make the playoffs. And this guy just won his third straight championship, finals MVP, and he will be third straight time. The number will rise to about half of you. And you will not go away. But that's not where the story ends. If Kevin Durant stays and wins a fourth straight title, and I believe the Warriors would, then the number is no longer 10% or 25 or 50. The number leans toward Durant. And we have ourselves a second conversation beyond MJ and LeBron. And it becomes LeBron and Durant. And that argument will last forever. Because as Chris Broussard said on our show recently, that would be territory not even MJ got to.
Assuming they win the championship this year, I think he should stay for the fourth year and see if they can win 4 straight. Because Magic, Michael, Bird, Kareem, Duncan, Kobe, Shaq, nobody other than Bill Russell has won 4 straight championships.
Why in the world would Kevin Durant, when he wins this year, when he's got the golden egg of affirmation within his sights, Steph, Clay, Kerr, Draymond, probably don't have Boogie, probably won't need it. LeBron struggling in Los Angeles, and he will be unless he gets AD, and maybe struggling some, even if he does in his 17th year. You don't go away from that. And how do I know he wouldn't go away from that? Because Kevin Durant will have seen what happens to stars, i.e. LeBron, when you go to the big city and try to do it by yourself. The man he's chasing is doing that now. And it's not working. The soap opera of the NBA is a different strategy and business deal than the NFL. I like both. But let's be honest about the soap opera. There's one guy that matters, Kevin Durant. And he's not going anywhere. Let me shift to this. Charles Barkley took a shot at me. Well, not directly, but it was kind of a shot. He had 2 strong comments yesterday. I'm going to read both. The first one I totally agree with. He said this Anthony Davis situation's a bad deal. Bad look for the league. Kid can't go out there, give it 100% because he's worried about getting hurt. The Pelicans aren't trying to win. And you see already he's had less than 3 points in the last few weeks. It's just ridiculous. On that opinion, Charles is right. This is bad for the league. This is not great. I mean, it was always destined to be a little ugly, but it's not good. And I totally agree with him. Let's go to Sir Charles' second comment. I hear all these clowns on TV saying it's great for players getting all this power. What in the world? That appears to be a shot at me. Anyway, let me tell you guys something. Workers are never going to have power over the ownership, ever. It might work for a couple of guys, but in the history of the world, workers don't overtake people who own a business. Charles is also right on that one. I defend players' mobility because I've been mobile, and I would be an